Howdy everyone, Daniel Stabler here. I wanted to wait a little while before making this video, but because of my eye issues, I wanted to go ahead and make it now. So, last video I made, I talked about young adult books and how it seems they're changing. They're getting more and more adult than they are young adult. And don't get me wrong, I think young adult novels can have, whatever an author wants it to have. It's just, when I think of young adult novels, it brings me back to when I was a kid, like I mentioned. Pendragon series, love it. Harry Potter, love it. Artemis Fowl, love it. And I know some of them, well, they're not actually young adult. They're, teenager books. Okay, fine, but you can still find those books in middle school library or a junior high library. So, with that being said, let me transition. Instead of talking negative about some, let's talk about a positive one. And that is Sunrise of the Reaping. Suzanne Collins wrote the trilogy Hunger Games. Fantastic trilogy, wonderful narrative about a young woman who volunteers into what is called the Hunger Games, where she's got to fight for her life and goes through all sorts of other trials. Well, in Sunrise of the Reaping, she keeps up with that thing. She did the same with The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which was another really good novel. She continues to take this series and just be consistent, which is amazing. However, hopefully she'll come up, if she hasn't already, with another idea. I feel for authors sometimes. They get trapped because of a series. And basically that's all what fans want. And that's understandable. But judging these 5 books that she's written for the Hunger Games, I'm just going to go, she's got it, right? She's got that talent. But what is really a feeling of relief is that she keeps within that realm of what a young adult novel feels like. And as much as it pains me to say this, so did Twilight. And that again pains me to say, but it does. It's relatively clean. Yeah, there's romance in it. There's heart in it. But for the most part, it's a story that gets you to fall in love with the characters. That gets you to fall in love with the idea of not just defending themselves in the games, but defending themselves against a tyrannical government, which, liberals have their way. We'll be in a tyrannical government. We're pretty much already there because, let's be honest, conservatives, brother and sister conservatives, all politicians are liars. Sorry. On a positive note, there are better politicians, though, than most others. So at least we have that. Anyway, back onto this. It's refreshing. to have authors that still get it. That you don't need like this ridiculous sexual tension in young adult novels. And it'd just be nice to see that continue. And so hopefully, as my writing career continues on, I'll be able to help contribute to that. You know, books are in the lane that they're in now. And I'm part of a Facebook writers group, Christian Writers for Life. You know, and we've talked about all this. And I brought it up, like basically anymore, most of your novels are reading like smut. I mean, every single author out there might as well just be writing erotica books at this point. Now, I mean, there are a few that don't go there. Like, so far, Lee Child, although I just got his short story anthology that he put out, and we'll be reading that once I'm done with Sunrise on the Reaping, and another book by a fellow member of the Christian Writers for Life group on Facebook called Timekeepers. I'm really looking forward to reading that one because it's a genre I've never read. It's steampunk, I believe. So that would be really neat, fascinating for me to watch. But anyways, in conclusion, gotta hand it to Suzanne Collins. There's hope, just like J.K. Rowling and her novels, which she has done more than Harry Potter. I haven't read any of those, but it's refreshing to know there are authors out there that know the difference between young adult and adult novels. That young adult, yes, you're coming of age, but that's just it, right? The ones that read YA most of the time are teenagers, kids that are still growing up and maturing. They don't need to be indoctrinated with stuff they're going to be dealing with as an adult anyway. And speaking from experience and the struggles that I had with porn and other things, that kind of writing just isn't. It turns me off anymore. I can't read it. God helped me get through pornography for a reason, because it was destructive. And we can't continue to let young adult novels go that direction. We just can't. And you know that I'm at a loss for words, but I mean, it is what it is, right? But we can at least promote those that are well done, great story, but also you can read it and say, yeah, my teenager can still read this and feel confident in doing that. And we can do that. So I hope and pray that we do. And God bless. Check it out, Sunrise on the Reaping. It's a really neat book. It really is. And there are more than likely others like it still to this day. God bless.